Slam Pigs Cruise Control, episode 12, live, right back here on the Biggie TMD. We are attempting again to do this live how nature intended it to be. I love doing it live a lot more. I'm sure Logan and Chris and everyone else does. But, very special guest this week. Someone that I cannot believe has never been on anything on this channel in the long-ass time I've known her. But before we get to that, all that good shit, let's get to my co-host for Cruise Control back for another round. First, at Miss March 89 on Twitter, Kristen, welcome back to the show. How was your week? What's going on? Are you there?
Who, me?
Okay, I heard Kristen. I can't hear Travis.
I'm frozen.
Could you guys hear me at all for the intro?
I heard you.
I hear you now.
I hear you now.
Well, I just did the intro and I threw it to Kristen. That explains it all. But anyway, I was said at Miss March 89 on Twitter. Kristen, welcome back. How was your week? What's going on?
Week's been all right. Kind of took a mental health day today. That's what working 6 days a week over the past month and a half will do. Other than some shit going on, week's been all right. Can't really complain, I guess.
Cool, and glad to have you back. And hope everything gets better for you. And Logan, the man behind Future Wrestling Podcast with Broski from first thing in the morning on YouTube. Get over here, hit like and subscribe. Logan, what's going on? I'm stuttering. I'm so excited to have our special guest, like I said in the intro. Welcome back, and where can everyone check you out and your show at?
Well, please check Future Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. Just search it, like, subscribe, and just watch. I'm stuttering too because I'm excited to have our special guest on too. But please check me out on Twitter at LoganMyers144. And Travis, just throw it in there. Come on.
Well, like I said at the top of this show, we are live again real quick. Already in the chat, my buddy Snare X, thanks for joining us, man. He did hear the intro, he said, so that's good. At least on the playback, guys, you're going to get to hear it. Yes, like I said, on the intro, Megan Starr, I said, I cannot believe in all the shows and all the time that I've known you on Habiki TMD that you've never been on any podcast I do. But finally, what is going on? Hot off the heels of your appearance on our buddy, the Prodigal J's WWPN show over there, Trivia, WrestleMania 4 stuff. Welcome, Slam Pigs Cruise Control. How are you?
I am fabulous.
Awesome. And for those that don't know Megan, she's super hip lady. Where can everyone check you out on Twitter and all that good stuff?
At the Megan Starr. That is the with 2 E's, Star with 2 R's, Megan MEGAN. All about the doubles.
Now, Logan and Kristen, I don't know if you feel like I do right now. I feel like because we cover 205 Live specifically, and, like, I don't know, a lot of people don't. I feel like we're a cult, and we pulled Megan in, and we forced her to watch an episode this week, or, like, drink the Kool-Aid. I feel like that's where we're at, Logan, with Megan on.
That's for sure. I think it's time that I'm going to show Megan exactly who Logan is with. I'm fired up.
That sounds a bit forceful, Logan.
Okay, all I gotta say is be worrisome about the quiet ones, all right? Jay found out.
Fucking hiding over here with this. You're gonna write a poem next and read it to her with candy? Sorry.
No, I just want to show her how fired up I can fucking get on this week's episode of
Sounds it.
Control.
Go ahead.
Just letting it all hang out. Found that out earlier.
Yep. most definitely. I always show my ladies how it goes.
I'm fucking going again.
Get it, kid?
All right. Here it is. I'm fucking fired up for this episode, Travis. Let's go. Because 2 fucking weeks of good fucking shows continue this shit because you are failing the fucking division and the ratings are still horrendous. You cannot get a fucking live crowd to give a great reaction. Well, Toronto did. Thank you, Toronto. You were probably the loudest 205 live crowd that we've ever had.
You just made your
But
co-host so
there-
fucking proud of you. Rosie's gonna give you a smooch on the cheek next time he sees you in person.
Get it, kid?
There's-
Get
Even
it?
though he hates Toronto. Go ahead, Logan.
There is talent and great in-ring fucking talent that is involved in this division. Stop screwing around and turn it around. Stop with the jobber shit that I had to see on this episode of 205 Live. Stop with the jobber shit and fucking give us what we truly fucking deserve, and that is greatness from the guys who can wrestle. Can you understand that? Wrestling. Who can actually fucking go. Build the division and utilize good storytelling and not garbage storytelling. I want to be invested in 205 Live, but how can we be invested when sometimes you just give us shit? I literally go outside to the cow field, pick up a cow patty of shit, and that's 205 Live.
Are you shaking right now? You sound like you're so pissed off. You're shaking.
Logan, why are you picking up shit? I'm confused.
I agree.
You know what?
Busy.
I agree, Logan, with 85% of what you said. The only thing that I kind of fell off
85%.
your hate train with was like, I'm okay with jobber matches sometimes. Quite frankly, if any of the guys on 205 Live needed a match that wasn't an even Steven booking or he didn't lose to a stronger looking guy, it was Noam Dar. Noam Dar desperately needed to look somewhat strong in a match, be it a jobber or not. I think picking and choosing when to do that's okay. But you're right, 205 Live, for its run, we're approaching like 40 episodes, right, Logan? This stage? They've had a lot of jobber matches for a cruiserweight show. I do agree with that, but I don't totally want to exile the jobber match at the same time. But I do see where you're coming from. More, it's along the lines of like, it's now or never with this fucking show. People aren't watching. It's that low in the ratings. They just have to. Your mindset is there's no time for jobber matches. Just do it, right? Pretty much.
Yeah, that's exactly what
I
I'm
get
trying to
that.
say.
I get that. I
Because
guess I'm just so
I want-
weary of hotshot booking because of the history of what hotshot booking does to the show. I don't know. It's really when it comes to booking, it's one of the harder calls to make when a show is suffering. When do you prolong angles to draw an interest, or when do you hotshot shit to get eyes real quick? It's touch and go. But let's ask one of the ladies, Logan, what they think about your fired up fiasco here tonight.
Let's go. Megan, what do you think about my fired up little fiasco?
Fiesta.
Yeah.
You're on
Yeah.
fire. I mean, I think I'm burnt over here. Like, calm down. To be honest, I think that match needed to happen. He was in the gimmick with Fox was stupid. That needed to happen. He needed something to get his name back out there, to be like, wow, look what he can do. But again, you can't have all of them like that because, yeah, then you get bored. But it's just like if you keep a story going too long, you get bored. I mean, come on now. Everybody has ADHD. It needs to be instant. You got to, especially with something this new, it needs to change about every 4 weeks. You can't keep it going too long past a month, or else that's what's failing is they don't have enough new people coming in. Why are we, the ratings are the way they are because I don't think whoever is in charge of this is building it correctly. That's just my personal opinion. But that match needed to happen. But again, I'm on fire. Okay, Logan, could you just calm it down? I'm hurting over here.
I think.
Well.
Before I throw to Kristen real quick, I think that, do you remember when the draft first happened last year, and all you heard people complain about was, for like 3 months forever, it seemed like, was Braun and the jobber matches, do something else with them.
Mm-hmm.
Looking back a year from now, it's a good thing those matches happened, in my opinion, because it reset Braun. It totally reset Braun. And look, the Braun Strowman we have today is one of my favorite guys on the roster because it started with just destroying guys in enhancement matches. And I called it back then. I'm telling you, last year with Michael called me crazy. I was like, just have patience with this jobber stuff. Like, sometimes you just gotta wait for stuff. But one of the tags on this title, Kristen, is more METALIK. Talk about pulling the trigger on a show. Why are we seeing a showcased angle, at least, of Grand METALIK consistently? Is it contractual stuff with Mexican promotions? What do you think it is, Kristen? Because even with the subtitle promos, which you never really have ever seen in WWE, unless it's like Kai and Ty and it was a joke, but here it was taken seriously like 2 weeks ago, and we all praised it on the show. It was classy and was excellent, and the crowd ate the shit up when METALIK come out. They do every time. I think he should be prominently featured. What do you think about all that with METALIK, and do you want to see more of him? Or does he just not tickle your fancy at the end of the day? Some people are like that with luchadors.
No, I actually like the luchador wrestlers. Like Grand METALIK, at first I was kind of like, oh great, here we go. Another fucking, just didn't really set my world on fire at first. But, well, like you said, the match, was it last week or the week before?
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was beautiful. Because, like you said, Kai and Tai, yes, they did have subtitles, but more of a ha-ha kind of subtitle. Whereas, I mean, this, like you said, you don't see that with WWE. And it was actually pleasantly surprising. But, I mean, I do. I don't know if it's, with METALIK, I don't know if it's like contractual shit with Mexican, wrestling promotions. I have no idea. That could be. I mean, it is a legitimate point. But I actually would, as much as I wasn't a big, didn't set my world on fire fan of him at first. Watching that match, either last week or the week before, was really fucking good.
Tony Nese.
And I'd actually, as much as I don't, we need to talk about him tonight, but I would actually like to see more of METALIK.
There you have it. Logan, you feel better now? You feel you've shown Megan what your worth is here on the show with your fired up segment?
I'm actually not done.
Oh Christ.
Oh,
Batten down the
no.
hatches. It's like a Gallagher concert. It's about to get messy. Go ahead, Logan.
I just, at the end of the day, I want continuation with good shows and not bullshit. That's all I want. I want the ratings to go up. If you don't know how to book and tell a story, contact me, WWE. Here's my Twitter.
At Logan Myers 144. Oh, look, that's creepy. That is creepy. Who did I just do that with at the same time?
Me.
Oh, Slits! What are you doing?
This isn't a fucking prom
I'm
dance.
sorry, I have to keep my mouth busy. I'm sorry.
Megan,
Always the mouth.
I got to be honest with you. Like, when a luchador of any era impresses me, because usually when I see luchador wrestling, I change the channel. I've never been into the lucha libre style. Very rarely have I liked a lot of mask guys. If I ever did, it was all in the WCW era. But I think that's why METALIK sticks out to me, because if I'm digging him, I know there's something special about him, and he can add something, I think. Do you see anything with METALIK, Megan, or you're just like, just another luchador guy?
I think he's good when he's used. I think he could work the crowd. I don't think the language at this point, due to what's happening in the world, is a problem. People don't have a problem reading captions these days, where 20 years ago that would have happened. People have been like, I'm bored with this. This can't happen all the time. I think he could work if they used him. I like all wrestling. So Lucha Libre, I appreciate the person who does it more than anything. And I think he's good. I think he has skills. I mean, it's all about how they're using him. That just comes down to the bottom line. Writing and booking, all that is the key to all of this.
It is. It really is. I mean, you can take the shittiest, worthless, and Eva Marie just got released. So let's just compare that. Or, let's say the Sandman for work rate. Let's say you have the work rate of the Sandman and the charisma of Eva Marie combined. Like the worst possible packaging. If you are booked correctly in professional wrestling, if you're booked correctly, you can be a star. You can draw ratings. It's all in the booking. Only in pro wrestling, by the way. You cannot take a big budget Hollywood movie and say, I'm going to take an actor from adult films and try to... You can't. It doesn't work that way in other things. Only in pro fucking wrestling is it like that.
Wait, what about adult films?
Yeah,
Hashtag Stan Marie.
Okay, so you can't take a porn star and make them a Scarlett Johansson, who is a sexy person,
I'm
may I
aware
add.
also, guys, in the chat comments down below, who Sasha Grey is, the adult star who is now in like television series and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, though, with wrestling, you don't have to have a lot of talent. If you're in the right hands, you can go miles. Look at the Ultimate Warrior. Hate to be that guy. Hate to be that fucking guy. But it was true. You know what I mean? Like, every other gimmick the Warrior had before he came in was the Dingo Warrior. It was the same thing, but a terrible name. And Fritz von Erich just would not let that fucking name go, and it did him no favors. Everyone's like, what the fuck's a dingo? Which was a wolf. But nobody knew that. Anyway, that's way off topic. Other than that,
Well, like I said, San Marie. Hashtag San Marie.
San Marie. Eva Man.
Yep.
Enter Eva.
I'm embarrassed to admit that I actually liked her at one point.
Oh my god.
I
had
her
red
for
hair. I
literally
actually
3
liked
weeks
her. Like,
at the very
hair
end.
down to my ass, fucking bright red.
Can we hang up on Kristen now?
You can suck my
No.
Fuck
I
you.
liked where it was going for the 2 weeks right before she was released. Because she wasn't wrestling. Yeah. I kind of saw her as like a Sable, like I said on the One Man Band show this week. By the way, thank you guys for checking that out on Twitter, all the feedback, all the comments. Thank you guys so much. I felt like Solomonster. It was fucking weird, but glad to have co-host this week. And Michael, I got to make an announcement. Michael's taking a break. He's coming back soon, though. He's not done. He's just stepping away for a little bit. He does have a busy home life, too, with a new baby. But Michael will be back down the road this Sunday. Logan's going to be my co-host, and our buddy Prodigal Jay is going to be our special guest. Other than that, where are we taking a trip down memory lane to this week, Logan? Another one of your little segments here. Your Frankenstein creation.
I love cruising down memory lane, even though I didn't get to watch your actual match, Travis, so I do apologize.
The one you should have watched first was the one I gave you.
I always go with Kristen because I will get throat punched, so.
But I live like 20 minutes from you. She's like 1,000 miles down south. It's a little different. Now I'm just sad. I'm a sad panda, Megan. You see, I have a guest on and you embarrass me and you make me sad because you didn't watch my match.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'm just kidding. It happens.
You still treat me.
If it makes you feel better, Juventud Guerrero was in the match. So, I mean.
See, that I can't even. I watched the match, but I will still butcher them. I just said Juventud, whatever. But.
Whatever.
Well, because at first, Logan, at least I fucking watched it.
You're right. You're right.
What?
No.
But no, you know what? Fuck that. You review it first, Logan.
You know what? You know what? No, let's see. Throw it in here for the segment this week. You throw in cruising down. You lost your privileges when you didn't do your homework. That's what happens in school. That's what happens in the classroom if you don't do your homework.
No recess for me.
There's no recess.
No, you got the dunce hat. You got the hat. You're in the corner. Go sit in the corner, Logan. You got 10 minutes, okay?
Dean Douglas is over there. He's pissed. Go sit down.
Right? No. There's no porridge for you.
Go sit next.
I said one last thing. I wish it was Friday because then I could have pizza for lunch. You know, since it's school. I always love them days. By the way,
signed pizza days. We didn't have that. They're just like whenever the fuck they wanted to give us pizza. I was like, here's some shitty corn with it.
That's weird.
Square pizzas.
I'll do it. You know what? I'll do it. Since we're talking about corn and shitty school pizza, my match was Juventud Guerrero and Blitzkrieg from WCW. A lot of people don't remember Blitzkrieg. Guy was fucking awesome. I wish he would have stuck around longer. I'm not sure why he didn't. I'm not going to go out of my way to look up the career of Blitzkrieg someday, maybe if I'm that bored. But the guy was a solid cruiserweight worker, and that, like we said last week and prior weeks, the WCW Cruiserweight era was like the epitome of that era where there was like the ultimate balance was still having psychology and the quote flippy dippy bullshit. There was still a good balance. I still say like the early 2000s, the blossoming of Ring of Honor, the sprinkling in of more New Japan style, all that stuff. It was just when like it kind of jumped the shark in a way. Now it's gotten better. I would say, guys, in the last 3 years, I think. Except for the obvious ones like Omega, the Young Bucks and stuff like that. But for the most part, guys are working better on selling. And a lot of guys you see like that were the indie darlings. Like especially look at Akira Tozawa and Cedric Alexander. I do not remember either of those guys selling like they do now, because they do a phenomenal job on 205 Live, some of the best sellers in the whole company. But I don't remember that from Cedric and ROH at all. But anyway, good. I thought the match was good. Since Kristen watched it, and Megan, it's fine. You didn't know the matches. You get a pass for life on this one, so no worries. But what did you think of this match, Kristen? I'm actually curious if you were impressed by Blitzkrieg or you just thought it was shit.
No, I actually was. Like, at first, because I'm like, as soon as you said this, I'm like, who versus who? Like, I'll admit that. But
He kind of looks like El
overall,
Generico in a way.
I was just about to say that. But no, I mean, at first, this match, I was like, who the fuck am I watching? Just because I'd never, like, I'll be honest, I'd never heard the name. That's just honesty. But doing my homework, since somebody didn't, Logan,
Asshole.
And
well, Michael's on vacay, Logan. Kristen has to take the mantle.
So I got to take the residency, so fuck that. Anyways, Juventud kind of got the upper hand at first, and so Blitzkrieg is like, fuck this, leaves the ring. But, I mean, like, I didn't really at first, I was like, great. I don't even know who any of these people are. But watching it, I was pleasantly surprised. Like, Blitzkrieg, I'm going to fuck up one of these names eventually, but, you know what I'm saying? Like,
just think
it was
of the
kind of back.
Blitzkrieg Bob. Boom.
But, I was actually surprised because Juventud went to apply, because wasn't it something like beach related? Spring Stampede.
Yeah.
See, I'm thinking the beach, spring. We're getting there.
It wasn't
eventually.
beach related, but it was like a Spring Stampede set, and they also had a match on Nitro.
Okay, yeah, maybe that's something. I don't know. But they were out of the ring for a little while. Blitzkrieg followed up, after they were out of the ring with a fucking swan dive right off the turnbuckle. I really thought that was going to end differently, but he pretty much had to eat a drop kick for that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I did notice that.
I mean, well, like the moonsault by fucking Blitzkrieg off the top rope onto the floor, pretty much just you see Juventud go boop. Right
that was scary. Floor. That was scary for Hoovy more than I would say for Blitz. I don't know, just the landing of that was really.
I'm sure Hoovy was like fuck, going through his head. He's like fuck.
Hoovy not notorious for being the safest or best person backstage to work with.
I was just about to say, from what I heard, he wasn't exactly the safest, but no. Overall, I thought it was a great match. Like I said at first, no idea who the fuck these guys were. And, I mean, I don't want to say not for a lack of trying, but like you said, like WCW, I mean, battle of, like Monday Night Wars and shit like that. I mean, this wasn't, like, this may have been one, like, if I were flipping back and forth, that I might have watched. If it were on regular, on regular TV. But, I mean, like, this is back still in the era where you had to buy your pay-per-views for fucking $50 a pop, so.
Yeah. 60.
The 60.
Exactly. So they were not cheap back in the day. But, I mean, it was beautiful because Blitzkrieg, like you said, like, that was scary for Juventud because, like you said, I was like, oh, fuck, like, doing the whole peeking between the fingers, like, that's bad. Just bad. But, I mean, he really didn't seem too fazed by it. I mean, they were back in the ring, back and forth,
You know what really sucks the most out of those cruiserweight matches, especially towards, like, the late 97, 98 days, was, like, the commentators were always coached in their ear, like Shivani and Bobby Heenan, to talk about main event angles and not talk about the action in the ring. Even then, when I was a teenager, I noticed that in the differences on the commentaries. Because, like, WWF Attitude Era shit, they were calling Val Venus draws matches like it was a WrestleMania main event, Jim Ross would be. But
right.
Megan!
No, the only thing I would have to
Go
say
ahead, sorry,
about
Kristen.
this match...
I thought you were done. My bad, go ahead.
The only thing I'd have to say about this match, like, Blitzkrieg, honestly, like you said, like, he wasn't bad. Like, some of the moves he pulled off were pretty good. But the thing is, I could see it now that I've actually watched the match. He could have been a bigger star if he were signed a few years earlier. Like, it wasn't, like, a perfect 10, but it was definitely
Yeah.
a good match with some pretty high flying moves. So I hope-
Travis.
Hi,
Go ahead, Kirsten.
Oh no, I'm done.
Hey,
Did
I'm
you
here.
did you ask? Did you want to know why Blitzkrieg, where he went?
Go ahead.
He retired in 1999 to become a computer technician.
Wow. He probably started up Geek Squad. He probably is the entrepreneur CEO of that. And that's like a year after this match, too. This is like 98, right? So, yeah, that's crazy. So, a year after this, you go a year from beating up Juventud Career in a ring to you're behind a desk in a cubicle. It's like the opposite for like excitement in life. But hey, to each their own, I guess.
He's 42 years old. So how old was he when he retired?
Don't make me do math on this show, Logan. That's not why we're here. Actually, I
Hang
wanted
on.
to know if Megan,
That
do
was
you actually
19
remember
years ago?
Blitzkrieg from WCW at all? Do you have any memories of him?
He's like 22,
No.
23.
Yeah, Megan said no. He's a really obscure guy. Like I said, a lot of people don't know.
No.
Yeah.
And I know Guerrero. He was good in WCW. He was a good cruiserweight. But the other guy, and I have no idea, was he only on there for what, a month?
Blitzkrieg, no, and people laugh, but she's not far from the truth. He wasn't around long.
I know.
He
wasn't around very long.
Yeah, it's. I
But
don't
I
know.
just laughed at the way she said it. He's like, what was he around for, like a month?
There were a handful of guys.
In wrestling years, that could be like a year.
Exactly.
Like a month could be literally a year. Like you could watch something and it can feel like 6 months and it's only been like maybe 6 weeks. And then somebody could be there for a year or 2 years and you're like, whoa. Like what, were they here for like 2 months? I don't remember them. Where'd they come from? I'm sorry. I did that with Mickie James just recently. I'm just going to play that out there.
The last time Blitzkrieg actually was around was 2004 during a Pro Wrestling War event. That was when he was like 33 years old. So that's crazy. Like he hasn't been. There's nothing else past 2004. So that's.
What did he do in 2004?
I'm just curious. He did a retirement match. That's it.
Oh.
Hmm.
Well, that's
so
the tale
he started
of
wrestling at like 17 years old.
We
so
literally,
that's crazy.
For the first time ever on Cruise Control, just did a career retrospective of one person. We got it in like 5 minutes. That's kind of sad. But hey,
horrible.
Glad to have you while you're around, Blitzkrieg. Kristen, you had a match too for us last week, and it was. I gotta be honest. It was probably the best match we've ever had to review on the show, and I got to correct myself too. Last week, I made myself look like an asshole. You were like from the Cruiserweight Classic, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, Pete Dunne wasn't it? You were right technically, because this, remember, was the qualifying match held in Progress. This is why Jack Gallagher was in the CWC in the first place, and I totally forgot about
completely
this.
crazy then.
So you get a pass. You're right technically. All apologies, but your match kicked ass. But go ahead. Why did you pick this match? Why did it stick out to you?
Well, I will admit I am a huge Pete Dunne fan. I mean, just watching like his matches, like I don't even know how to describe it. Like Pete Dunne's matches just get you into the matches. Like it's not. I don't know how to describe it, other than the fact that I'm going to sound like a fangirl for fucking Pete Dunne, which is totally okay with me. But I mean, we've seen Jack Gallagher. I mean, I like his message. Jesus fucking Christ. Eventually I'll be able to talk right tonight. But no, I mean, just Pete Dunne is, I don't know, I guess I feel kind of underappreciated. Like we've got, we hear about Jack Gallagher, we hear about, Tyler Bates, we hear about all them, but we don't really hear a whole lot about Pete Dunne. And, I'm kind of tired of watching the fucking comedy match, I guess is the best way to describe him, between Kendrick and fucking Gallagher. Like, that storyline needs to die in a dumpster fire. But, I mean, overall, like, Pete Dunne matches, I feel are kind of underrated, because a lot of people are like, well, who's Pete Dunne? Watch a match and you'll see exactly why I picked him. Case in point.
Exactly. Logan, did you catch this match this week?
I'm sure he
Yes,
did.
it
And he
did.
didn't catch yours.
This match was actually really good. I love this submission moves that these guys applied to each other. And I do agree with Kristen that Pete Dunne isn't really. We hear a lot about all the other cruiserweights, but when it comes down to Pete Dunne, we don't hear much about him. And he's actually the champion, you know, and that's one thing that we really have to take notice of. He's really good. He's vicious in the ring. He makes some of those like moves that other guys make look like more vicious, and that's the side that I like about Pete Dunne. This match was definitely. I will put my hand up and say it right now that it was the best match besides the match that Travis gave us last week to watch. It was the best match that we've actually got the review on cruise control.
I love it. I
That's
love
good.
it. Love it. I love it.
And the cool part about Pete Dunne is, and we will be hearing and seeing a little bit more about Pete Dunne because I did hear reports that WWE is bringing in all of the Pete Dunne and Wolfpack and all of them to take over. So they will be
Wolfgang?
featured on Takeover in some way. Yep.
Wolfgang? You said Wolfpack.
Wolfgang.
Just think of the
Wolfgang,
candy.
I'm thinking.
Wolfgang candy. That's easier.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sure Wolfgang eats a lot of candy.
I'm still thinking about the NWL Table for Three that we watched. Me and Kristen watched.
That was pretty awesome, actually.
This is the Jack Gallagher we should have seen continuously since he's been on the roster. I mean, we saw it in the tournament, but after that, they're starting again now, and we'll get to that on the review later on. But I love this match. I love that it ended on a submission with Jack Gallagher obviously advancing. The crowd went insane for this match. This was Jack Gallagher's farewell, I'm pretty sure, match in progress too. I don't know if that's accurate, Kristen.
I believe so. I believe this was his farewell match.
Maybe, Megan, you've seen this match.
I have.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. What did you think of this match?
Okay, well, these guys. Okay, so I watch a lot of wrestling from the UK. I love it. I love the acting. I love how well almost everybody meshes with each other, so anybody can fight anybody. And these two, I think, was the first time it was really brought into attention in America.
Yeah.
So this is stuff I've already watched, but it again for these two, it was an amazing match, and it shows both of them kind of kicking ass. I mean,
it kind of plays up this match. I feel kind of played up both of their strengths. Like Travis said, I feel that this is the kind of thing that this is a side of Jack Gallagher that we should be seeing now.
Well, you can't blame him for that, though.
I know. Fuck you, WWE.
I mean, I think he wants to get there, but they're holding him back. I mean, you can only have one pale guy right now, right?
I think they see him just like Sheamus. He's a walking cartoon character that's sorely missing in this era of wrestling, and he doesn't really need a belt. And they just see him as, I mean, he is entertaining when he's booked right. I love Jack Gallagher. There's nothing wrong with his ring work. That's the last problem with Jack Gallagher in 205 Live. In my opinion.
No. His ring work is amazing. He's one of the more entertaining. If anything, if I'm watching it on my phone and somebody's like, "Hey, what are you watching?" and I'm watching one of his matches, they'll be like, "Did he just do that?" And I was like, "Yeah, you want to watch?"
Yeah, and it's like on the 205 Live show. Go ahead, sorry, Meg.
So he catches the crowd. What he can do in his ability catches the crowd, and that's what they need. But I don't think they know how to use him. And again, they just want to see him as a big cartoon. So
yeah, Logan, go ahead.
Quick question. And me and Kristen both noticed this. The 1 week on 205 Live, the announcer said Jack Gallagher. The following week, they said Jack Gallagher. Which one the hell is it?
I think it's Gallagher because they said that in progress, so I got to go with the source material on that.
Like it's confusing when an announcer
Yeah, like
says
one week they'll say Gallagher, and then the next week it's like Gallagher. It's like,
Because
bitch,
when
which
I
is
said
it?
Gallagher, like I didn't even, not even to piggyback off the goddamn Gallagher reference earlier. How does that happen twice in a goddamn show? But yeah, that's the only reason I don't think of that, because I'll think of Gallagher, the comedian, or whatever. So I just say Gallagher anyway. I don't know. It's apples and oranges. It's potatoes. I guess how people pronounce shit.
Well, the way it's spelled, it looks like Gallagher.
Yeah, exactly.
So
But I
I
will
don't know.
say, and it's a little sneak peek of the review earlier, the intensity from this match is definitely, we saw more of that this week. And I think we will all agree when we get to that later. Logan. Oh, Logan, your match this week on Cruise Control for us all.
I was trying to give you like one of the worst matches, a cruiserweight match that you could watch.
What a
It
mischievous
was
Logan's an
laugh.
asshole.
Matt Hardy versus Rey Mysterio from WrestleMania. Travis, what was your thoughts?
Do you know why I didn't watch your match this week? Do you want to take a guess?
Because you done watched it and you didn't like it.
WrestleMania 19. That's not true. I love WrestleMania 19. I really do. Is in fact, I think, the last pay-per-view I would ever sit around with my family and tape on a VHS. That's the last time I ever remember us doing that.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And you know how
Wow.
VHSs were back in the day. You always saw the first couple matches the most because of rewinding and all that shit. So yeah, I've seen this match so many times, and I didn't even need to watch it to review it. I will say this is like one of the few matches that Rey Mysterio did not fuck with his mask the entire match in WWE, and it did not distract me. The only problem is this match kind of felt rushed in a way. Did you get that on the ending, Logan? Like, it should have given like at least
Definitely.
5 more minutes, it felt like.
Because to me, like Matt Hardy was in his prime back then. Like that was like the wasn't that like the
That was the literal, like,
metal.
that was like 6 months into like the Mattitude character, because that happened right
Yeah,
after the
that's
brand split.
it was like
Right?
in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So like Matt Hardy was on fire and Rey Mysterio was basically like that main superstar, that main wrestler
It's
for the
Mysterio's
cruiserweight
first
division.
Mania. And he did the Daredevil cosplay in this because that movie had just come out with Ben Affleck at the time. And then he would start as, I gotta be a comic book character shit every WrestleMania. Why can't you just be fucking Rey Mysterio? Not even at WrestleMania 22, he had to wear that huge, weird Indian headdress, or Aztec, sorry. All apologies to our Aztec listeners. Logan, I do like this match. I was all about, I don't know what happened. I agree. It's like Vince, it wasn't Vince, though. That's the thing. It was on SmackDown. So I'm trying to think the writing team would have been in that time in 03, but Matt
Kevin
Hardy,
Dunn. We
Stephanie,
just blame him.
Heyman, something like that. Isn't it like right after this Mania match, Matt Hardy was in a feud with The Undertaker for a couple weeks, and it looked like he was getting a push, and then just like nothing, it felt like, with Hardy.
Because I don't think they viewed him as like that main guy. I guess they mainly looked at him as like a mid-card
Well,
superstar who couldn't get over that hump.
let me see
And
if our lovely ladies agree with this sentiment. In 2003, like the Matt Hardy now, I think that, look at the talent he was surrounded by. Look, just run down the card of the WrestleMania 19 roster. A Matt Hardy does not even compare to an Eddie Guerrero in my eyes. He's not even like the way I see it. Maybe Megan. I mean, back then in 03, do you see Matt Hardy breaking through, or were you like, God, there's just too many guys that were just in their prime?
Back then, Matt Hardy was not the Matt Hardy now, and I don't see Matt Hardy as a cruiserweight. I never saw him as a cruiserweight.
That was beautiful, though,
I'm
because that
just
was like the gag they did. Remember, he was like losing.
yeah.
That was funny as hell. I enjoyed that.
It was. I mean, the Mattitude. Okay, I remember the internet. Yeah, that was just starting. So he was. I don't know. I just didn't see him really. He didn't excite me as a cruiserweight. That was just the bottom line. I don't think him as singles really excites me. I am not a Matt Hardy girl either. I'm a Jeff Hardy girl, and they're two complete opposites. I'm just gonna say.
Yep. There you go. Kristen, do you remember this match? And that question, Hardy back then, could he have been a main event guy, considering guys like Angle, Brock, Taker, Guerrero, all those guys? Cena was just about to pop in like a couple months. Not to make pop sound gross in that kind of way. What'd you think, Kristen? Slitsy? Slitsy. That's funny to say. It's not as dirty sounding.
Slitsy?
No.
Well, that's going to stay now.
Don't encourage him.
Slitsy mist.
Misty Slitsy.
Hey, Slitsy. What's up,
Misty Slits. There it is.
Ew.
Logan popped.
He did. He popped. I heard him.
But like you said, back then, 02, 03 era, going up against the other names that were in there, like you said, Eddie Guerrero, Taker, Cena a couple months later, I don't feel he could have gotten a pop, but would it have been a huge pop? Probably not. And I hate to say that because, like Megan said, I'm definitely a Hardy Boys fan overall. But, and this is something else that me and Megan have in common because I'm definitely a Jeff if I had to pick between the two. But, no, I mean, this match overall was not bad. Like you said, it could have been longer. It was only 5 minutes and 37 seconds.
Oof, I did not look at the official time. That is depressing.
Yeah, it was
Matt
a
Hardy
5-minute
in 5
match.
minutes and 37 seconds.
We had to make way for
off,
that fucking Miller Lite Catgirls pillow fight on WrestleMania 19 that ate up like 8 minutes, I think, with Jonathan
They
Coachman.
did.
Yeah.
God.
Send out the tits, pal. Give Mysterio out of there.
This also had Shannon Moore.
Yep.
At the beginning of the match, distracting Ray at the bell. Which, ironically, I'll get to see him. What's today? Technically now Thursday. So in 2 days, I will get to see him.
Yeah, that's the thing about. I love this Shannon Moore, and I liked him in 3 count, but I can't get down with his punk gimmick. I never have ever since he started. I just think I don't know. It's kind of tacky.
See, I can stare at his rhinestone pants all day long, especially. Anyways, but moving right along.
But that's
Shannon
still cool.
Moore pretty much. Dude, Shannon Moore is fucking cool as shit. Like, I wish you guys were down here to see these events. Like, that's something else for another time, though. But no, right off the bat, Shannon Moore distracted Rey Mysterio. Ray, of course, dodges the attack. Matt pretty much sends him outside of the ring. Moore pretty much leveled him after the reverse Hurricanrana. And, of course, Moore is continuing to get the cheap shots behind the ref's back because, of course, every wrestler has got to sit there and distract the ref. So, of course, Moore's sitting there getting the, little dirty, cheap moves in. Matt, the thing that makes me laugh because, this is, like you said, the whole internet era. There was version 1, Matt 2.0.
The entrance was phenomenal. The way they did it back then, where it was like you're like online and like Matt Fax. God, damn it, I miss Matt Fax. Like Matt hates guacamole, just random shit. It was so. It's weird. You can't really call him a comedy wrestler because he won titles in this time and he would win matches. But you could. It was kind of like the Hurricane back then, and they were on different brands. So each brand kind of had like its funny serious guy, and they were both insanely over.
Kind of funny serious, yeah.
They were both insanely over, but I really think like they would have peaked at a mid-card title, the Hurricane and Matt Hardy at this time. But the match, like you said, Kristen, and
it was really short, and that kind of pisses me off. Like it was fast-paced, kind of balls to the wall, but it was only just over 5.5 minutes. Like, I mean, the fact that there was a fucking flying head scissors, fucking, and almost a 3 count right there.
The
619.
The Big Show and Akibono got like 9 minutes, I think, at WrestleMania in the sumo match. It took 9 minutes for all the fucking sumo rituals and all that shit to play out, and this got 5:39. There you have it.
Yeah, no, that was.
And it's sad because Rey Mysterio, it's his first WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He's your main Spanish Mexican luchador. That is your platform for that, that section. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
And he was
Matt
new.
Hardy's on his
He
prime.
just came into the company, and the thing that gets him over is his in-ring work. His in-ring. Don't give him a fucking mic.
Yeah.
Anyway, those were the matches of the week, guys. Well done. Very well done. A little hot debate there at the end with Mysterio. I'm digging it. Digging it. Glad you could join us for this week's round, Megan.
Yay.
Yay.
I have a match for you guys for next week on tap if you'd like to hear it. And you guys, if you got one for me, let's do it.
I've got a match picked out already. The match that I'm gonna make you guys review is. Hang on, I've got my little notepad. Y'all don't get to judge me. Is Pac versus Prince Devitt, aka Adrian Neville versus Finn Balor. This was from NJPW's Best of Super Juniors 2012.
Nice. I'm sure I've never seen that. I'm sure it's a good match.
Good match.
It's a good match.
What's the match for?
Logan.
This was Pac versus Prince Devitt, aka Adrian Neville versus Finn Balor from NJPW. This was from the Best of Super Juniors 2012.
I think it's on New Japan's YouTube channel. It's one of their free matches they have.
It is one of their free matches.
Boom. Yep.
Like if you just search, if you go on Google and type in Pac versus Prince Devitt, it's literally the first thing that pops up.
Boom. Mine may require the WWE Network. You guys may need to have that. I know Logan has.
I already have it.
Okay, cool. Mine, I don't think we have had one ECW match. This one is a totally different kind of match, though. Guilty as Charged 99, Tajiri versus Super Crazy. The first time these guys ever wrestled in ECW. The fans didn't know what to expect. Tajiri was in undies and it looked like he was in like the Blue World Order. Clean shaven Tajiri is Super Young Tajiri and Super Crazy. Check it out. I love that match for some reason, and that's one of my favorite ECW pay-per-views. Didn't see that one coming, did you, Logan?
You said Guilty as Charged was the name
Guilty
of
as Charged 99. Call Logan with a left hook. He's in shock. He didn't see that coming at all. Tajiri finally getting a shout out here on Cruise Control. It's about damn time. I love Tajiri. That's what I got.
Guilty as Charged.
99, Logan. Guilty as Charged 1999. There are 3 pay-per-views called Guilty as Charged. It was the first.
All right, and it's the match against who and who?
Tajiri versus Super Crazy. Jesus fucking Christ, Logan, get your shit together.
Sorry.
Logan, what do you got for us so we can move the train along?
I got Dean Malenko versus Ultimo Dragon Starcade 99.
Beautiful. Redeemed. Look at you.
No, Starcade 96. My bad.
I was thinking for a second, 99, but yeah, that sounds good. I love
Wait, Dean Malenko versus who?
Ultimo Dragon.
Ultimo Dragon.
Does anyone have their hearing aids turned up this week? Megan, are you hearing us?
Ultimate Dragon. I can't talk over everybody. Sorry,
Ultimo
but yes,
Dragon.
I understand
Mike
what
Tenay would be upset if he heard you call him Ultimate.
He
That
can
was
get
the
over
only
it.
thing about WCW Cruiserweight matches. Personally, I can't stand Mike Tenay. I never have. And they threw him in every fucking Cruiserweight match back then as a special analyst, which meant he's calling the whole fucking match. Anyway, that was cruising down memory lane this week. Logan, what's the polls? Let's move the train along so we can review 205 Live and get out of here. But
Yay,
the polls this
done.
week, I went a little left field on voting on your polls.
Wait, what was the poll? I voted. I know I did.
Cruise Control poll was if you could sign one guy from the Cruiserweight Classic that hasn't been seen since then, who would it be? Everybody's selections was Kota Ibushi, Zack Sabre Jr., Anthony Bennett, and Raul Mendoza. And basically, with a landslide, Kota Ibushi with 54% beat 19% Zack Sabre Jr., 8% Anthony Bennett, and Raul Mendoza, which I think is Travis's pick.
It's Raul, you fuck.
I didn't say you fuck. I just said it's Jesus.
I said you fuck.
19%. My apologies. Dang.
She's Spitfire tonight.
She is like Michael. I swear to God.
We need this. This is why we brought her on board.
Fuck right off.
I went Team Mendoza. I think Raul Mendoza was the guy that surprised me the most in the Cruiserweight Classic. I didn't see coming. He's still in NXT. He's tremendous. He's got a good look. He looks like TJP a little bit. I'd change his attire maybe to distance himself. But I went Mendoza, Logan. I know it upset you because you don't like Raul Mendoza.
I do like him. I do like Mendoza.
And
He had a really good match on NXT.
What's funny is I picked Mendoza as well.
I do have to say, though, this is the least shocked I am in any poll you've done. Like, we went from the Gulak one,
the
where I was
Kota
blown away
Ibushi
at the
is like
Gulak
shocked
hate,
me.
but this, I saw this coming a while. Everybody loves Kota Ibushi. I mean, I love Kota Ibushi, too. I just, right now, I don't think he's coming over, so I went with the more realistic option, I guess. Kristen, where did you go with us in this poll?
I actually picked Raul Mendoza as well.
Boom! Suck it, Logan! Every inch!
Jeez.
Damn.
Fired up, Travis. I like this side. But, no, like you said, I mean, I'd have to pretty much agree with all your points. Like you said, he's on NXT. But, I mean, I just like the way he, like, I don't know how to describe it. I just kind of like his style overall. Like, the only thing, and I want to kind of punch you for that comment about him being similar to TJP.
Well, he does. Let's be. I mean, perception's reality. He does, and his
But I
tight
don't want
time.
to admit
I do
that.
want to apologize real quick. Our buddy Snarex has been blowing up the chat, just catching up. Like a couple things he was saying. He loved Rey Mysterio flipping around like a ninja monkey. The Hardy Boys were his brother's favorite. And yeah, just thank you so much, man, for hanging out tonight. We really do appreciate it. We're just not good at multitasking, but I'm gonna try my best to keep up with you here in the chat. And sorry, Chris, I just want to make sure to get that in because I feel bad. People out there shouting us out. We don't see it.
Yeah, no, I have the attention span of a goldfish, so
Yeah.
sorry, but we appreciate it. I promise. But like Travis reiterated, we are not good with multitasking at all. But no, I like Raul Mendoza. I hope that eventually WWE will get their shit together because I do not need a TJP 2.0.
Yeah. I mean, who can? I don't think they would give him a video game gimmick. Thankful. I mean, my God, give him a Cubert gimmick. That was a fun game in the 80s. Yeah. Megan, who you said you voted? Do you remember who you even voted for at this point? It was like a week ago, I think.
The Junior.
Zack Sabre Jr.
Zack Sabre Jr., yeah. Do you want me to elaborate? Is that what you want? Is that what the pause is for?
I mean, I didn't bring you on a podcast to just be like, no, I'm just kidding. If you want to, by all means, feel free.
Well, I think he's underrated. I think a lot of people don't really know enough about him. He was there. He's not that experienced. I think he's one of the least experienced ones that was there. But he's second generation, at least over there. So, I mean, again, we know how Vince has a hard-on for generation shit. So, why is he not there? I mean, again, if Logan's correct with his whole, news over there about them bringing people over finally, which would be awesome. Are we going to have a lot of those people? Like, are we bringing some of those people over? I don't know. Is he going to go to the UK side? Because, I mean, I don't know. I would like to see more of him. He just has skills. He has more charisma. I think he definitely needs more training professionally wise, but I think he has something in him that definitely makes Vince hard.
I think
I'll just leave it at that.
He's actually been around for like 12, 13 years, I think. He debuted.
Has he been around that long?
Yeah, he has. He went under the radar for a lot of those early days, and he never gained exposure until I saw him in Noah years ago. I don't know if you ever called him there. That's the first time I ever saw him, and he impressed me. I think the thing is, with Sabre Jr., Kota Ibushi, people don't remember we're in that era where guys are making more money in New Japan and on the indies right now than they would in developmental or even on the main roster in some cases. Look at what Sasha Banks makes. That's shockingly low, by the way. I don't know if you guys know what she makes, but it's wow. But yeah,
they all make
it's
low
just
money, but yeah.
It's just that era. Look at the Young Bucks. I don't think any of us are die-hard Young Bucks fans, but they entertain us to an extent. We're not on the hate train. Sometimes they jump the shark, but at the end of the day, you got to give it to the Bucks as some of the most successful current entrepreneurs. I watch videos of theirs, like their vlogs of like with their wives and like at their t-shirt business they run out of their house, and like these guys are killing it, making killings on the Indies of Ring of Honor in Japan, all that shit. Why would Sabre Jr. come? So they can ruin his character and cut half his pay? I get it. of course, a lot of guys, when you get into it, you have the big dream in WWE at the end of the day, but it seems like for a lot of these guys, the dream fades away and it's not worth it. And the dream, the more that we progress into the future, the curtain, it seems, is pulled back. To me, with WWE is like the be all end all place I want to be since I was a kid. It's like, well, it's not this. It's just not what it used to be with guys that just want to get there. It's just not. But the poll doesn't surprise me on the other end, because at the end of the day, it boils down to what we want to see on a show we're watching. And yes, we'd love to see Sabre Jr. and Ibushi. It's crazy though that Sabre Jr. is a heel right now. He's doing that gimmick and he's killing it as a heel, and I didn't see that in him. But shout out to him. I'm not the biggest Sabre Jr. fan though. I think he's completely overrated. I got to be honest with you. As your friend,
Like the Young
I
Bucks.
can't bullshit you. I think he's good. He's really good,
Love
but I
him.
think there's
You're
better
gonna get
guys in the
fucking
world right now than Zack
Botox,
Sabre Jr.
dude, I swear.
I don't know. I got love for the Young Bucks, but again, it's more, I got respect for what they do because they make so much money because they work their ass off. They don't just want, some company to give them money. They're actually doing a whole bunch of stuff themselves. So I think, to be honest with you, just shortly, what Cody Rhodes has done, where he went to WWE, he sought that dream, and then now he's back in the Indies. I think we're going to see more of that as the years go on.
Jack Swagger. Look, I mean, Jack Swagger's more of a case of a contractual thing. He wasn't a lifelong fan, but he's fallen in love with the business after learning how the business works. And he's making, I mean, I'm not dying to see Jack Swagger on an indie show, but I'm just saying he's doing okay for himself. And he knew that. He asked for his release. He totally knew that.
Yep.
These guys know. These guys fucking know.
Well, Cody asked for his release.
We could
And
possibly...
it's funny, though, Ryback wants $5 million at an indie show. Okay?
No.
And it's funny because...
Ryback.
And this is funny because...
That's enough to run 10 indie
guys
shows,
like... Exactly. That's no lie, though.
It's not. Probably more. More indie shows would be an accurate statement.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, and you did say something about Sasha Banks, what she makes. Dean Ambrose makes like $500K a year. Cesaro makes $300K a year. I think that's around the price, what they're making a year.
Wait, how much
as what I read. I don't know what
travel expenses, lodging, all that shit comes into account. We don't know what they're paying for the out of pocket. We don't know at the end of the day. So when everything's said and done for these guys, what does it all add up to? And exactly like Megan said, these guys are realizing it, and it's just that era. But I another week, Logan, you knocked it out of the park. I enjoyed your poll again, man. Team Mendoza.
Just wait.
That's it.
All right, I think it's time. Do you want me to throw us into the next one, and then we can do the 205 Live review?
Throw it on us, Logan.
What's next?
Throw it all on us.
Is Tony Nese the next person for the opportunity at the Cruiserweight title? I need to know what you guys think.
Well, we can kind of segue that into the opening of 205 Live this week, because that was the beginning.
Right?
We could.
So we just do that. It's time for this week's 205 Live review. 205 Live was in Toronto, like you said, Logan. And man, Canadian fans, love them or hate them, they bring energy more times than not to shows that usually don't have it. And this was, like you texted me, you DM'd me the other day, Logan, like a day or two ago. This was the most energetic crowd in the history of 205 Live, you said? So,
yes. It was the loudest 205 Live crowd ever. Thank you, Toronto. Why couldn't Matt Tennant be this fucking good as Toronto?
Matt Tennant's British.
Matt Tennant, he's
He's
British.
not Canadian.
Gross.
I mean, he's an asshole, but he's not Canadian.
Fucking Matt. I'm just saying.
Somebody talk. Anyway, it was Tony Nese out with Cedric Alexander out of the gate after an opening vignette of the Tozawa and all that stuff. This match was really good. This was another week of Tony Nese killing it in ring. I thought this was a near flawless match. The only thing I did not like, I don't know, and guys, we all know the finish here. It was a competitive match until the end where Tony Nese won rolling the tights. I don't know if Cedric Alexander meant to pull the tights, if that was an instinct because he's worked heel before, but logically, Alexander pulled the tights too. If you guys didn't happen to catch that, they even showed it on the fucking replay, but the announcers didn't mention it. I don't know if he meant to do that, but that kind of just made the finish seem like, why should I have sympathy for Alexander as a babyface if he's going to cheat anyway? But anyway, I kind of feel like, another tag in the title, Logan, back to your Tony Nese segment, I feel like Neville's on his way out soon. I really feel like they're seeing him as a guy that should be on the main roster, as good as he's fucking been. And I got to agree. And I think Nese could be a guy they have on the radar to take that spot. To answer your question, what's going on with Nese? Dare I say, a month or 2, 3 months from now, Tony Nese will have taken the mantle of Neville as the Cruiserweight champion, or in a Cruiserweight title picture as a top guy in this division. I don't know if you hate that or love that idea, guys, but that's what I'm kind of seeing from the way they're booking him.
I'm going to let the ladies go. Ladies first.
Well, I'm done, ladies, so we'll leave that to you, Megan.
Oh, okay. I agree with Travis. I am a damn lady, okay? So I'll take this, okay? So again, I'm with Travis. I think that he could be somebody. He could be the champion. That's who I voted. Yes. They're booking him good. The way Graves talks about him, swear to God, he's stroking it over there.
Yep.
He totally is. Like he counts the abs.
But it's great, and it reminds me of a Bobby Heenan calling a Narcissus Lex Luger match. It's like this era's version of that. It's tremendous. I wish they could make him his amazing manager. We'll get back to Corey Graves later in this show, which is another great part of the show. But go ahead, Megan.
But yeah, I mean, the way they're pumping him up, the way they're doing stuff, I think that he's getting close. He's getting there. I don't know if it's going to be after SummerSlam. I don't know if they're going to continue that feud for maybe a little bit longer to see if they can keep the crowd going with this guy, because, but I think he does great. And again, Toronto, woohoo! Just going to say that. No, I'm sorry, that was the best crowd in every show this week was Toronto in a long time. Just every show. So good for you. I'm sorry, broski. Most of them came from Montreal. I'm just going to throw that out there. That's what I was told. So,
Kristen, what do you think about Nese in the title picture in 205 Live transitioning Neville out of there as like next in line? You hate it or love it?
I'm going to be the only one that says this, but I don't want to see Nese taking over Neville's spot. I mean, do I agree that Neville needs to be called up? I thought that should have been a long time ago, but I think, like you said, WWE is finally starting to realize that he could be a main roster guy, but I can't see Tony Nese being the one to come in and take the reins like that. I would love to see Cedric Alexander make a heel turn and take the reins. Like, I would love to see that gold around his waist.
Maybe they're just putting it off. But that goes back to what we said earlier. Pull the trigger time or fucking book a long angle time. It's a weird place.
Okay, pull the trigger. It's now or never. Because who knows how long fucking 205 is going to be around.
It's about goddamn time, and I think we're all going to agree on this, that Cedric Alexander got a good reaction for once, because he deserves it. Logan, spotlight's on you, Pallie. What do you think to do with Tony Nese?
When it comes down to Tony Nese, he has become very, very good. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay.
Hey, Michael's not here. I gotta take the reins somehow.
He has changed in the past month. He has gotten a few big wins over some guys as of late, and I think that helps him a lot. I can see championship material in him, but how would it work and how do you book him is the question. He has talent written right in front of all the fans. It's written right in front of the backstage agents, and they should notice him for his power and acknowledge his size. Many people want to focus on the high-flying abilities, but in my opinion, all the time, it's not needed. It can be used in some ways, but I like a guy like Drew Gulak, who, in my opinion, has one of the best gimmicks in WWE right now. And Tony Nese has changed his gimmick a little bit. It's all about the 8 abs, you know, and that's all right. And like you said, Travis, you're actually a fan of those kind of gimmicks, right?
Yeah, the narcissist, the vain. I didn't hate the Chris Masters gimmick, like I said. I will say, I want to, just because I think this is what they're going to do, I don't know if it's the right call. I don't think it's what I would do. And that's nothing against Nese, but I think the problem they found themselves in with Neville is he's been such a great fucking heel and just knocking out of the park every week. He never messes up in ring, it seems. He's flawless on the mic. You can't follow that act. You don't spend these months. You don't spend months to establish a dominant heel run just for him to leave. Like, what the fuck was the point then? And Tony Nese, all due respect to Tony Nese. If he would take the mantle, I think he could probably be in the shadow and would be compared to Neville, and I think it would hurt him in the long run more than help him. But I can see positives out of it. Stranger things have happened. It's interesting what they're going to do, though, I guess.
Promo wise, he isn't the greatest. He isn't as good as Neville, and that could be said for a lot of guys. But I can say, like, Tony Nese, this match against Tony Nese and Cedric Alexander, I actually really enjoyed this match. I want to see more from these two. And for the fucking idiot yelling boring during the match, fuck you. Just saying.
No, he's Canadian. Did this take us
And
to
from Toronto.
Neville? Did this take us to the Neville Corey Graves Cesaro segment, Logan?
This was
this was
the
Kendrick,
Brian Kendrick
right?
interview.
Brian Kendrick interview, correct. Thank you for correcting me. Brian Kendrick interview backstage with somebody who just blends in like every other backstage interview now in NXT and 205 Live. I have no clue who she is. They need to do something to make. I know who Sean Mooney is if I turn on an old tape. I know who Lord Alfred Hayes is. I don't know who Brunette B is. I have no fucking clue, and it gets old too. Anyway, this is Brian Kendrick. It was an okay promo. Out of nowhere, speak of the devil we talked about earlier, Jack Gallagher beats the ever-loving piss out of Kendrick, who runs away like a little girl. This is the intensity I asked about last week. Like, everything was good in that Gallagher segment, beating Kendrick to a pulp, but he just lacked that one little fire of intensity for me. And he showed it this week, and I love this segment. I don't know about any of you. Slitzy, Kristen, what did you think of this segment this week?
I think it was fucking beautiful. I mean, this is that, like you said, this is the heat buildup that Jack needs. Like, the comedic buildup, it's old, it's stale, it's not doing anything for either one of them at this point. But the fact that attacking the shit out of Brian Kendrick, he's getting that heat buildup. I mean, it's beautiful. As much as a lot of people don't like Brian Kendrick. I mean, this is gonna get him. I don't know if I like him as a face either, so I don't know how I feel about Brian Kendrick at all. But Jack attacking Brian Kendrick is gonna give him that heat and that kind of push that he needs moving forward. How WWE Creative books that, your guess is as good as mine.
The incomparable Megan Starr. I told you I had a nice nickname for you. I just forgot to say it. What did you think of this backstage segment?
I actually liked it. So Travis might remember Brian Kendrick back in the day. I'm just gonna put it that way. So I'm just gonna throw that out there. So I know this guy from previous times, and I kind of almost felt that guy was back this week, and I don't know how I felt about it. When he ran away like a scared little bitch, I was like, I got mixed feelings. I got mixed feelings right now. The heat on Jack. Yeah, no, that needs to happen. I think that goes back to, again, the match that was reviewed earlier. We're seeing some of that now. I think we're going to see more of that coming in. He needs it. He needs to stop being so much of a cartoon. Yeah, I really kind of dug it. Again, I don't know who that girl was. What's her name again?
No clue.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what her name is. Like, I think that's starting to bug me too. I'm like, who are all these people interviewing people? I know like maybe 3 of them.
The last recognizable backstage interviewer that went through like their little system or whatever, it seems, is Renee Young, and that's forever ago at this point.
I'm starting to know Mike Rome, right? That's his name?
Vic Joseph.
The
Oh wait, Mike Rome. Yeah, the guy that looks like little Alex Riley, the other guy.
yes. He used to be on some Nickelodeon show. I just remember that.
Oh my god.
So I know him from that. So I kind of know who he is. I know his face, so he's more recognizable. But yeah, that whole part is starting to irritate me. Where I'm like, I don't even know who the interviewers are. They don't interact. Like Renee said, I'm just gonna go ask who the person is now. They don't really talk. I miss the talking. Come on now. You can go back to the 80s and early 90s, and we need some more segments like that. Interaction, then they attack. Make a story. But again, Jack was amazing. He needed it. I think we're going to start seeing some more of things that we didn't expect from him, which is going to be nice because he, again, wasn't like this before he was in 205. So.
Yeah. Logie, pierogies, don't smoke a stogie because it's bad for you. What did you think of the segment?
I actually enjoyed the intensity and the vicious side of Jack, and I've been saying this for a couple weeks now. He has shown it in the last month that he's got that side, and he's willing to show it and expose it, and I think that's what I like the most about Jack. He can continue his fun, nice character, being a gentleman, but at the same time, showcasing a new side of Jack is maybe what will get him over the hump to become a cruiserweight champion.
At least at the end of the day, best case scenario, a face of the division when you think about 205. I think I may want to be more of that than the champion. Because when I want people to close their eyes and think about the show, I'd love for me to be one of the first people they think of. You know what I mean? And that's what Neville's going to be.
Yeah.
For me right now, when I think of 205 Live, I'm thinking Neville just because of how they booked his dominance. Is this time for Corey Graves in a director's chair getting uncomfortable against Neville in underwear?
Yep.
I don't know about any of you guys. Now that it's so ingrained in our heads that Corey Graves is I'll say it, this generation's Bobby Heenan. When I go back and watch when I go back and watch old NXT episodes, Kristen, it's really weird to see him wrestle a match now. It's really fucking weird. I don't know about you.
I was gonna say watching him wrestle versus him. I mean, not that he was a bad wrestler because he wasn't. It was just he was so injury plagued with concussion after concussion after concussion. Seeing him then in a match versus seeing him in a chair, announcing and calling matches, I honestly feel like he makes you want to root, when he starts rooting and cheering for someone. For example, during the Tony Nese and Cedric Alexander, I mean, him rooting for somebody in a match is absolutely wonderful. Like, it makes you, even if you don't like the person, you're like, yeah, Cedric Alexander, if you're not a fan of him, or yeah, Tony Nese. But I mean, I guess that would be the only line I'd have to differ because we know how I feel about Tony Nese. But Corey Graves, I feel, is more natural. Not that he wasn't in wrestling, but I feel he's more natural as an announcer.
Yeah.
Could I see him being creative? Absolutely.
I'm not one of those sit around a campfire and analyze the stars and the horoscopes and talk about karma types, but I feel like he was kind of destined, the injury, just to be a commentator. He was meant to do this, and just weird paths in the road and karma and injuries and stuff just led him to what he was meant to do. But anyway, Logan, the segment. By the way, if I ever hurt my shoulder, my leg, my arm, I'm going to the goddamn chiropractor or doctor here at Zawa visits because miraculously on Raw and 205 Live this week is okay. A week later, week and a fucking half later, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. Logan, what did you think of this whole segment with Neville coming down and the conflict? I hate when guys they have a big build up to a match, especially a title match at a big pay-per-view, and they brawl a lot on every show beforehand. They got a little bit of that in here, but it was only a couple shots, and I was fine with it. What did you think of this?
Akira Tozawa was really good. He's gotten really good. I'm excited about this match more than a lot of people think because of, and I'll explain. When this goes for a lot of guys in the locker room, even outside of 205 Live. There are guys who deserve opportunities more than the other guy. Neville has been the longest running streak. I just did a Teddy Long with a cruiserweight champion to date. He is much better than half the guys on the main roster, and that's just my personal opinion. For the word reaction, that's what I think of some guys. All of this will come full circle, so bear with me. Jinder Mahal gets a reaction. Not that they care, it's a reaction that some boo and some really don't like him. Some goes for Roman Reigns. Say what you want about the guy, but he's really impressed and really improved. He gets a reaction that Vince and Roman Reigns doesn't expect or want, but at the end of the day,
Vince expects it with his fucking hard on for fucking big sweaty dudes. Like, no.
With long hair and pretty eyes.
All they care about is the fact that he's getting a reaction. It doesn't matter what kind of reaction he's getting a reaction. And on the poll from last week, we had Cedric Alexander got the win on who will defeat Neville and become the Cruiserweight champion. Wrong. I will be a fan more of Akira Tozawa than a Cedric Alexander.
You take that fucking back, bitch.
I'm not taking it back.
Take it back.
Example, Jinder Mahal gets booed because, in my opinion, nobody wants him holding that title. They want Shinsuke Nakamura. But if you guys didn't hear, he has heat against Vince McMahon for that exploder suplex on John Cena. Example, Roman Reigns gets mixed reactions from the crowds. He gets his cheers by the ladies and kids. The ones who boo, well, they have an opinion that stinks. They just boo because they don't want what Vince wants. They will always want what they want. Even when the fans are spoiled, they boo a guy like Roman Reigns. But give little to no reaction to an athletic athlete like Cedric Alexander. So the poll that was put up, the fans and friends voted for Cedric, and he won the poll. No offense to the ones who voted, but why? Give me a reason, a good reason besides his ring performances that are fantastic, by the way. Why should he be?
Why are you shitting on him?
I'm not shitting on him. I'm not shitting on him. Why should he be the next champion and then be the next guy to defeat Neville and become that main guy for the champion?
I think what Logan's saying is that, like, why have they given us a reason to care about him being entitled? He hasn't been booked like he deserves the title in a way.
For example, like Akira Tozawa is over. That chant? Okay. Thank you. He gets a reaction because of that chant. I'm not shitting on him. Like, I'm a big fan of Cedric, but the fans, the reactions does not equal what Vince wants, and I think that's what's hurting.
And whose fault is that? He booked it right after SmackDown when you're already sitting there for hours at a time once you get in there. They don't do it before fucking SmackDown airs, which they should be when people are so fucking there.
We don't see much of Cedric Alexander even on Monday Night Raw, so that's one thing. But like I said, the reaction that Akira Tozawa's been getting makes me think that he is the next Cruiserweight champion, and at SummerSlam, my prediction is totally there. Akira Tozawa beats Neville and will become the new Cruiserweight champion.
Interesting.
I suppose.
I am here. Sorry about that.
So I'm gonna step in and say and don't hate me, Kitty. I love you. I'm hugging you, and I'm looking at Logan. I got you, dude. I'm with you. But I don't think it's SummerSlam. I don't think he's gonna win at SummerSlam.
Fuck you guys.
I'm hugging you. You can't go sit in the corner. You're getting love. You take my love. You let me love you. You let me love you while I talk to Logan.
In your titties.
I'm telling you, we lose people in there. Did you not see the stick figures?
I'm willing to make that sacrifice.
So tie. It's bring your own rope to nuzzle in my bosoms. And when you're in there, please grab onto somebody, and so when I pull, you all can come out.
Is Drew Gulak in there? Because I feel like all you guys are complaining, at least your guys on TV. Can I get a hashtag trending? I want my goddamn Gulak. I want Drew Gulak on TV. Where the hell is he? I'm getting the short end of the stick out of anybody. At least if he was on TV and being booked bad, I'd have something to complain about. Well, what the fuck is Drew Gulak, people?
Travis, I got you. I got you right now.
Thank you, Logan. Noam Dar, Logan's personal favorite, was back this week against some guy, Mike Roberts or somebody with a funny red mustache.
Mark Thomas.
Noam Dar, for his triumphant return, Logan, guess what he did? Guess what he did? He grabbed a mic. Go ahead, Logan.
He grabbed a... You know what? I can't even do it because I will get fired up. I can't stand him on the fucking mic. Some of the words that he says, literally, I think what he tried to say something with the F, and it sounded like he said fuck. And I was like, oh my God.
We know he can't pronounce anything that starts with a fucking F. Alicia Fox.
I think if he's meaning to come off as doing his job well as a heel, he's doing a great job. He's very unlikable for me. I hate the come down to the ring with my hands in my pockets thing he did. I hate that. But he's doing a good job. He's making me irritated with him. This made him look strong. This totally was a squash match, pretty much. The jobber got like 2 things in. The Toronto crowd chants once again, "Let's go, jobber," just like the guy on SmackDown. Megan,
his name is Mark Thomas. Give him a fucking name.
Mark Thomas. Thank you, Kristen. Megan, what did you think of Noam Dar and Mark Thomas, the Clinic?
Well, the jobber, yeah, he was funny looking. I laughed. I was like, what was that? I loved the crowd. I think this is exactly what Dar needs after what he was put through. Come on now. I am sorry. Don't get me wrong. On a personal level, I bet you Alicia Fox is a wonderful person. I hope. I have hope. But seriously, I wouldn't want to be stuck doing a gimmick with her for a while. So I think he was handed kind of a shit hand. And it did kind of work. I don't know. I mean, it didn't. That whole gimmick didn't even boost anybody, actually, if you want to get really down to it. So somebody needs to get something out of it. And I think he's going to finally get it. And you got to put into consideration he's from another country. They all mess up. And I think they don't have he's going to have to find a vocal coach. That's just the bottom line. He needs to find a vocal coach because people like Logan were like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, come on.
Tag along with that little Japanese girl in the Mae Young Classic right now who keeps tweeting pictures of herself in vocal school at the Performance Center, Kairi Sane or whatever.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they all have vocal coaches, and it's just depending on who utilizes them or not. Like, Asuka, she's getting pretty good.
And she's starting to get more... baby. Kung Fu Naki, baby. Oh.
You know, it's like you can... I mean, even Finn Balor... He's came super far since he started in NXT on the mic, where, you know, he's not going to get much mic time unless he does the vocal coaching. And if he does it, I think he could be a really good person to hate because I hate him. But, I mean, he does. He makes me want to just go punch him in the tender areas. Like, just stop.
In the
tender areas. At the end of the day, Kristen, start with you. Do any of us give a shit about Noam Dar, though? As good as it is to see someone get elevated to look a little strong in a jobber match once in a while, do any of us give a shit about Noam Dar and how he's been booked?
No. I mean, like you said, the crowd continuously chanting, "Let's go, jobber." I mean, it did nothing to build up his credibility or anything like that. The only thing that makes me like him is the fact that you can sit there and just do fucking his last name to the Imperial Death March. Dar, dar, dar. Like, that's the only thing that he's got going for him. Really, that's it. Sorry. I'm not sorry, but sorry.
That's why they signed him. So they can sing that song.
So they can sit there, dar, dar, dar.
Logan, is Dar just a waste of time on 205 Live? Should he be on like a Raw and like a Mike Bennett type role?
Noam Dar could be a talent that you look at, but I just don't know promo-wise if he could do it. I'm looking on here right now.
You fire the man. That's what you would do.
Just give him a push right out the door.
You just let him go. Cut ties.
No. Here's the thing. I think they're going to pull off something. I think they do. I think they are. The old Cruiserweight Championship, what the youngest winner was Hornswoggle at 21 years old.
Does that fucking count? Are we counting Hornswoggle? Who is the next
Apparently
guy in
not.
line? Because I don't count Hornswoggle. That was for... Oh, Jesus.
The new Cruiserweight Champion, the youngest for the new Cruiserweight Champion, is Rich Swann at 25 years old.
All right, so the youngest Cruiserweight Champion of all time in WWE
Logan,
is
just
Rich
suck
Swann.
his dick a little bit harder.
But no, what I'm trying to say is, down the line, I think they're going to pull off Noam Dar as the Cruiserweight Champion because he will be and is the youngest Cruiserweight in WWE right now.
I really just want to pull a sponge up right now. Nobody cares.
Megan, you're the tiebreaker.
But
Megan's like, no.
Okay, I'm kind of drawn because right now, currently, yeah, get him the fuck out of there. But I think I'm sorry. I'm gonna go back. I think after this week, I need to see what happens for me to make a final decision on that. Because yeah, I want to see where this goes for a little bit. And if he can't catch them now, yeah, get him the fuck out of there. He ain't worth it. He ain't worth no Star Wars freaking shit. Just get him out.
Boom. There you have it. Is it main event time this week, Logan?
yes, it is.
Good.
Rich Swann versus TJP. And I'm going to throw this one to our guest of the night, the lady in the room.
The incomparable Megan Starr.
I love it. And I'm a lady. Oh, you gentlemen. You're so sweet.
Hey, somebody's got to be a lady in this group. It ain't me.
Exactly. But don't worry, my bosoms will eat you all alive.
They've conquered man.
Right? They do. That's why I wear a bra to contain the children.
One is the Singh brother and the other is the other Singh brother.
No, we're not doing that. They're better than that.
Through that.
Jesus
All
Christ.
apologies to your chest. Go ahead, Megan.
Thank
This week's
you.
main event, TJP and Rich Swann, and in a weird frenemies dumb thing they're doing. Anyway, go ahead.
I know. I'm over the gimmick. I'm over the story. I think there's going to be they're going to keep it going because again, it was the after the ring crap behind stage. The match itself, it was okay, but I think it's already been done before. And I think that's the problem with most 205 is like it's too new to keep it on for too long. We need to see everybody mix up so we can build a relationship with each one. And their frenemy thing is kind of, it's kind of like they're the women of the 205. I'm just going to say it.
Kind of.
It's very whiny.
That
very
is
whiny.
accurate as shit, and I didn't think of it as that kind of scenario, but now you just made me look at it a whole different way. So thank you.
Yeah, like, you're welcome. I mean, it's like they're playing video games and blah, blah, blah. And, I think they're trying to pump up like, oh, well, this is what guys do. It's kind of like, the guys in the locker room, this is what they say. This is what they do.
And I think to make it better and piggyback what you said, I think post-match, after the match they had the little altercation, he was like, I don't appreciate how you showed me up or whatever. Like, just like two women would do, I guess. So you're so
right. And it was just very whiny and hair pulling, and it's been done before, and it's kind of like the women's division right now, where you're kind of like, oh, this is happening. Well, to make it the main event, I was like, I'm only doing this for Logan. I'm only doing this for Logan.
The thing that really sucks, and this sums up the entire problem with 205 Live, this build up to this match. This build up was like Sex in the City bullshit, Jessica Parker goddamn soap opera. Who cares? But the match was tremendous, and the fans are missing out on great matches because of shitty build-ups.
Right? So, I mean, maybe the match was really great, but I lost interest, and I'm sorry, I watched it like twice. I'm not even joking you. I went back and I was like, I'm going to catch that match and see it. And I was like, I still don't have much of a memory of it. That's the bad part. But again, that comes into, it's already been done. It's already been seen. Are they doing any new moves? Nothing's catching me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was more into the commentary than I was anything else in the crowd. And
it takes a lot to impress the incomparable Megan Starr listeners and everyone in the chat.
I have ADHD, okay? I'm like, ooh, shiny thing.
If they're not British wrestlers, she's not going to like it. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I know what you mean, though. As good as the match was, and I know Logan may even go against me here, as good as this match was, I feel like we've seen this match at least 3 other times because they keep doing it and they don't change up enough.
I mean, it's just like, do you want to see Dean Ambrose really fight The Miz again? We were there, guys. I know I was. I'm like, and I like both of them. They're both great in their own aspects. And again, I love Rick Swann. TJP, he's definitely, he's kind of like for the kids and the ladies because he's pretty. But to me, he's a kid. Makes me sound old. Don't mind me over here with my curlers in.
He's 32, 33.
TJP? No, he's in his 20s. He's a kid.
He's not.
He's in his 30s, I thought.
He's 32.
Are you sure?
I just looked it up.
Did you really?
Swear to
I don't
know. Hand to God, bro.
Hand to God, bro.
But, I mean, I think they're great in their own aspects. But again, this week, I'm like, yeah, whatever. They're doing this again. I watched a shitty build-up. And again, I have ADHD, so every shiny thing really got my attention.
She's like, ooh.
I think at one point I was looking for the shiny things. Like, is there no shiny things around? I'm doing this for Logan. Yep, that's how that match went for me.
Start a Patreon for Logan, just get him shiny things. Kristen, what'd you think of this week's main event to round out 2 to 5?
I have to laugh at the whole. I don't know why, but I can sit there imagining Megan going, ooh, just like a cat, like with the laser pointer.
I do that.
Like, Megan,
don't judge me.
Megan, look. But no, overall, I do have to say this was the most alive match I think I saw from the crowd. That out of all the matches, like not that they weren't really alive for the other ones, but this one they were pretty much lively throughout the whole thing. Like every time it looked like Swann or TJP was going to get the upper hand, the other one pretty much countered it, which was beautiful. But I mean, it was an alright match. It wasn't over. Although I do have to agree with the shiny because we are women, and I have a very easily look shiny, but overall, I mean, it didn't really set my world on fire, this match. Like you said, it's something that we've seen. Like, I guess this could be 205 version of, like Megan said, Dean Ambrose versus The Miz. Give me something of substance to work with, and I may change my mind, but for right now, no. Not at all. But it wasn't a bad match overall. At least this one was actually kind of lively.
Well, Logan, the man of the hour, he'll probably be sour. What did you think of the main events?
Don't you dare be sour.
It was overall a good match. I don't like the gloating part. It does make
the dabbing.
them
just
sound
say
like
the dabbing.
women.
It's not the gloating, it's the fucking dabbing that irritates everyone.
Please stop
I hate
dabbing.
it.
If you dab one more time, I'm going to dab your arm into a cut. I'm literally going to cut his arm off. So
but
you can't.
We're meant to hate
you know
it.
What
That's
I'm
why
do,
they're
Logan?
making him do it more than he used to. He
you know
does it now
happen,
more,
Logan,
it
when
seems.
I get to,
but Vince probably watched the TJP match for like 2 minutes, like, that thing he does where he puts his hand like he's playing peekaboo. Do that. They hate that.
Exactly, though.
But Corey Graves,
DJ.
he kind of comes off like a tweener on commentary because he's like, I like TJP. He's one of the best, except for the dabbing. He can't help it. He always makes fun of his dabbing. It's funny. Go ahead, Logan.
Because it's stupid.
I mean, even the crowd sits there and tells him, please stop dabbing. So what does that tell you?
Go ahead, Logan.
Rich Swann, I'm a bigger fan of, and TJP to me is a broken fucking record. Stop booking a guy who can't even talk on the mic. Stop booking a guy who isn't the better man in the eyes of a lot of fans. And I think, to me, even in-ring abilities, Rich Swann is better than TJP. And if you're going to take somebody out of 205 Live, I'd rather see Noam Dar than TJP.
Oh, it's that deep?
Wow, tell us how you really feel. Just let the
No, really, hang on a second here. I don't think that's the finish because it's that deep. Logan. Like, hello, are you okay?
Let's face it, TJP to me is that broken record that can't be fixed. And if the dabbing is the only thing that can get you over, then you just need to stop, step back. It's like a stop, drop, and roll method. Just keep going.
You leave TJP alone.
But I would say, overall, these past 2 weeks have been 10 times better than the fucking garbage that we had the prior weeks before. That actually made me have the best podcast that I, ever had before in my life.
Well, speaking of better than ever before, this has been, in all seriousness, one of my favorite episodes of Cruise Control we've ever done. Thank you so much again, Megan, for joining us. It's been tremendous to have you. Welcome back anytime. Around the boards, I would say, for me, I give this week's episode a pass. I thought it was fun. I'll grade this episode a B. Solid B show for me on this week's 205 Live.
Megan, what did you grade this show?
Oh, I was hoping somebody would go before me. I'm thinking.
I'll go before you, Megan, if you want.
Thank you, because I gotta, go for it.
I would say overall, I would give it a B. The reason why is
Can't
because...
do that. Nope.
No.
We do that too much. We always make the same grade. Sick of it.
Not always.
Put my little foot down.
Well, tough titty. Tough titty, Travis.
All right, B then.
Tough titty, Travis. We're using alliteration now. Tough titty, Travis. But I feel that 205 Live, as each week has gone on lately, has gotten better each and every time. I mean, there are kind of hit or miss moments, but overall it's getting better with the product. Hopefully WWE continues this direction. But overall, I would have to agree. I'd have to give it a B. There were some moments, but overall it was pretty good.
To elaborate on why I gave it a B2, I think they're rolling up their sleeves a little bit more, it feels like, and just making characters more serious. They're cutting out bullshit comedy angles. They know what is shitting the bed, and they know what fans are making fun of. I don't know how anyone backstage could have watched any of that Gallagher and Kendrick stuff over the past couple weeks and thought it was good. It was terrible. And I hope that this flow continues. I hope none of us jinx it. I hope, like we've seen time and time again doing Cruise Control, next week we'll get 3 shitty episodes watched and we'll all be depressed.
Love it.
Megan, got an answer?
All right. I'm gonna give it a C.
Ooh.
So I was going back in between a C and maybe a B minus, and I was like, no, that's a little too high. Then I was like C minus. No, so I'm gonna stick with C. Again, I think they're going up. So C is passing. It's a passing. Let's just elaborate on that. Like, it passes, it flows. It's definitely better than it has been in a few weeks. Like Travis says, I'm scared that we're going to get like 1 or 2 crappy episodes after this. This is why I don't watch it every week. Like, I wait a few weeks and then I just catch up on the network for $9.99 a month. You're welcome, WWE. I would like some royalties. Hint. But anyways, I think it's getting better. So I think, a while ago I would have given it an F, to be honest. So a C is passing. There was a couple, I think the main event, that wasn't a main event match. There could have been something else. The Brian Kendrick Jack thing was all right. I just think it needs to be. I think what's missing in that, I'm just going to put it out there, is we need better interviewers. Not these people that just stand there and say one-lines or make funny faces. We need people who actually interview, sit down, interact. It's not just the, promo city over there where it's just the promo.
At least make them stop asking the most asinine questions at the worst time. It seems like so many times a week in WWE TV. So you just lost a big title opportunity match. How do you feel?
Right.
What the fuck do you mean? How does he feel?
Well,
Why are you even
how the fuck do you think I feel, bitch?
It's ridiculous.
If you got me up there, I'd be like, excuse me?
Well.
To be honest, I think a C. I think they're getting better. Unless Logan wants to have a conversation about it, I probably won't, watch it, to be honest, next week. I'll wait a couple weeks, I'll binge watch it on the network, and then I'll move on with life. And it's going to be that way until it gets better. So
honestly, I admire your dedication to even watch one episode of 205 Live for this show. And thank you again for coming on, Megan. But it all boils down to Logan.
I watch it.
Well, you did for this show. Logan, what do you got on 205 Live this week?
Well, for what Megan said, she is right. We need newer interviewers who, and this goes back to what I said earlier, is reaction. That word that can be described about a lot of things that needs to be fixed in WWE, in my opinion, is the interviewers. You don't ask asinine questions like what they have been asking. Travis, I've actually done interviews with wrestlers on the indie scene, so I know how to really ask the questions more.
Too, also.
So yeah, exactly. So it's more about the reaction and the interaction with the guys and the wrestlers, and that's. Look at, for example, Mean Gene Okerlund back in the day. He didn't just give an interview like one or two questions. He put a little tiny story, adding him into what was going on. Like he was invested. He made the fans want to get invested in the interview, and that's what we're lost on. We don't get that as much as we used to. So for the show, so we can close it up, I'm giving it a solid D for the show this week.
Did you say a solid B or a solid D?
D. I'm giving it the D.
He's giving it the D. Hey-o! Oh, sorry.
Well, finally, I feel like we have graded the show and we've ended up on opposite ends of the spectrum. That's like never happened with you and I, Logan. We're usually right on the same page, but it's refreshing. It is. But yeah, that was 205 Live. Leading the way to SummerSlam. We're 1 week away to Zell and Neville. Next week, have a little prediction round. Our picks. What's going to go down. Megan Starr at the Megan Starr on Twitter. Thank you so much for joining us once again.
Thank you for having me.
Without a doubt. So let's see. Where can everyone check out one more time on Twitter? All that good stuff for
Are
you guys.
we talking about... Wait, who did he say? Because my shit just cut out really bad.
Everything cut out on Travis.
Yeah, Travis cut out. Travis, you're cut out.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
I can hear you now.
All right.
Logan, shut up.
Sorry, that was audio issues, I guess, with the outro music. Where can everyone check you out on Twitter and all that good stuff, Kristen?
You can check me out on Twitter at MissMarch89. You can check me out, obviously, here on Cruise Control. And that's really about it, just because I don't have my channel that I plan on starting eventually up and running. But for right now,
in the future,
you can stalk me on here and this show, obviously.
There you have it.
I stalk you at home, Kristen.
Slitsy is open for business. Thank you again, Kristen, for joining us for another week. Logan, Mr. Future Wrestling Podcast, Broski. Hey, my man, I will see you this Sunday on Slam Pigs, and thank you for filling in. And real quick, where can everyone check all your stuff out before we get out of here?
Well, for speaking for Kristen, I am the future of Future Wrestling. You can check us out on Facebook at Future Wrestling Podcast, and you can also check us on YouTube, Future Wrestling Podcast. Go like, share, subscribe, everything. Go watch what me and Broski has got going on. Don't mind the first couple videos with that asshole that I had as a partner and a co-host. Check me out on Twitter at Logan Myers 144. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. So
Hashtag fuck that bitch. Oh.
And there you have it. Thanks again, pal. I'll see you Sunday. For Megan, Chris, and Logan, I am Travis at the Biggie TMD. Check out the reset button, Slam Pigs, Cruise Control, Slam Pigs Podcast, Kayfabe Today Podcast on First in the Morning YouTube. I am over there. Also, and Grapple Listen is coming, I promise, guys. Tonka Gasol from Grapple Vision is a super busy dude, but hang in there. Hold tight. Until next week, this has been Slam Pigs Cruise Control. Have a good one.
Shot like a rocket up into the sky. Nothing can stop me tonight. You make me feel invincible, earthquake powerful, just like a tidal wave. You make me brave. You're my titanium fight song, raising up like the roar of victory in a stadium. Who can touch me? 'Cause I'm. Who can stop me tonight? You make me feel invincible. I feel it, invincible. I feel it, invincible. You make me feel invincible. You make me feel invincible. Shot like a rocket up into the sky, not gonna stop. Invincible. Feel invincible. Earthquake powerful, just like a tidal wave. You make me brave. You're my titanium fight song, raising up like the roar of victory in a stadium. Feel invincible. Earthquake powerful, just like a tidal wave. You make me brave. You're my titanium fight song, raising up like the roar of victory in a stadium. Who can touch me? 'Cause I'm. Who can stop me tonight? You make me feel invincible. I feel it, invincible. I feel it, invincible.
Non-stop music, no ads. So